Hello, my name is Oscar Wilde, and if my words still reach you, then perhaps the world has not yet fully surrendered to the dull, mechanical grind of conformity. Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives a mimicry, their passions a quotation. I wrote these words not merely as a critique of my time, but as a warning for all ages. Why this mattered in my time. I lived in an era of strict social norms and rigid class structures. Victorian society was obsessed with propriety, conformity, and maintaining appearances. People were taught to fit neatly into predefined roles, to echo the thoughts of their superiors, and to adopt the passions deemed acceptable by their peers. To be different was to be dangerous. To think for oneself was to risk exile from polite society. I, however, chose to live by a different creed, to speak boldly, to dress flamboyantly, and to challenge the very foundations of the status quo. I refused to be a mere reflection of other people's expectations, and for this I paid a high price. But I would do it all again. For what is a life lived in fear of judgment, if not a living death? What is a mind that echoes only the words of others, if not a wasted intellect? How it applies today. Now, as I gaze upon this modern age, I see that my warning has only grown more relevant. You live in a world where technology has created echo chambers of opinion, where algorithms decide what you see and hear, and where the fear of being different has only intensified. Your social media feeds are filled with borrowed thoughts, your timelines with mimicked lives, and your passions reduced to quotable soundbites. You have, at your fingertips, the entire spectrum of human knowledge, yet so many choose to repeat rather than reflect, to mimic rather than create, to quote rather than question. This, my dear listener, is a tragedy of epic proportions, a loss not just of individuality, but of human potential itself. Advice for today. So, what can you do to escape this trap of conformity? First, dare to think for yourself. Question the narratives you're fed. Ask why you believe what you believe and whether those beliefs are truly your own. Second, live boldly. Don't just mimic the lives of others. Create your own story, craft your own character, and be the author of your own narrative. Third, cultivate original passions. Find the things that make your heart beat faster, that set your soul on fire, and pursue them without apology. Do not let your life become a collection of borrowed dreams and second-hand ambitions. Fourth, embrace your contradictions. True individuality is messy, complex, and often misunderstood. Be willing to stand alone, to be criticized, and to be different. Finally, remember that the world needs your voice, not the echo of a trending opinion, not the mimicry of a popular figure, but your voice, in all its unfiltered, unpolished, and unapologetic glory. Conclusion. So, if you take nothing else from my words, take this. Refuse to be other people. Refuse to let your thoughts be mere opinions borrowed from others. Refuse to let your life be a mimicry of what society expects. Refuse to let your passions be reduced to mere quotations. Be bold, be original, be you. Thank you for listening. Stay curious, stay rebellious, and always, always think for yourself.